coffee, and hot.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Make you laugh. No. You no thing. Oh, you gotta do that. All right, go fuck yourself, quick. I'm sorry, we're not supposed to say fuck until 7 minutes in or something. Well, I fucked that up. Blah, 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 blah. Good morning. How are you? I'm Matt Napo, and I am hated by everyone, loved by a few, but even the people who love me hate me. Good morning. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, October 11th, 2023. They say happy wife, happy life. Well, I don't have a happy life, to say the least. You know what? It will get better. My wife is not happy this morning. But I can't blame her. And it's not my fault. But happy wife, happy life. The wife's not happy. I'm not happy. Because, oh my God, if you ever have a wife who's not happy, even if she's not happy with you, life is just miserable. It's, and everything feels like it's your fault, even though it's not your fault. And when she's telling you about the problem, it certainly feels like she's barking at you and blaming you for her misery, even though she's not meaning to do that. But if you're like me, you take it all personally. And I get enough hate here, and I don't really need to feel like my wife hates me. And she doesn't hate me. She loves me. Why else would she put up with me? But my goodness. And I've been telling her, and you can't help some people. And she's one of the people you can't help. You can't say you're overworked. You need to say no. Problem is, her place of employment is abusing her, and she can't say no. She says, "Are you kidding me?" as an answer. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do? And she's working like crazy hours. And the answer always comes back, well, can you, and once she gets a phone call, now she's got a phone call on 4 hours sleep. She was just working until very late last night, got a phone call at 4 hours sleep. Can you come in? And her response is, are you kidding me? That's not the response. The response is much shorter than no. Or in this case, we used to get a, now you get a, I like the old days with the better. You can slam that phone down. Now it's just, hurt your index finger, bashing it into the phone. You can break your screen. But it's really just as simple as that. No, I'm not coming in. I'm not doing it. Get somebody else to do it. You don't need to go into a whole explanation. No. And anyway, she doesn't do that. And then after she goes through, are you kidding me? You know what? I just got home and I got to take care of my father. My husband is a no good live streaming bum. Not a bum, but, and she didn't say that. She's worried about me. She's worried that I might be driving off a cliff. And there are cliffs here, but there are no roads that lead to the cliff. So I'm probably not going to drive off a cliff. If anything, I'll jump off a cliff, but not until summer. I'm not going out and jumping on no cliff now. It's fucking cold out there. Anyway, we have a biker hypnotist scheduled for 10:15 this morning. We have somebody named Chris Kuhn scheduled for 9:15 this morning, whom I know zero about. I can guess about. I'm guessing he's a comedian, hoping he's a comedian, and hoping he's going to bring something funny to the table. Because yesterday, see, this is what happens. I'm such a moody son of a bitch, and I'm subject to the winds of change. And every time, good show, yeah, I'm on top of the world. Bad show, I'm in hell. And yesterday I was in hell. Now people would tell me, "Yeah, you're too hard on yourself. That was a good show." Willie, and the Rev helped me carry the show and be funny. I guess I wasn't laughing all that much. I don't know what we even said. But then the guest was on, and he was a comedian from Florida, and he was kind of low energy. Now it's morning. I get low energy, but you sign up to do a podcast, you gotta fucking load yourself up with some caffeine. I don't know, drink Red Bulls till your balls are falling off, and come on and bring some energy, and then you can go take a nap, go back to sleep, whatever. But to come on here and make me do all the work, and then comedians these days complain about cancel culture, but you can't be both sensitive to jokes, overly sensitive to jokes, or respond to jokes in a way that feels like you're shutting them down and still complain about cancel culture. You could be one of the other or both, not both. You can be one or the other. You can be shut up, that's not funny, or you can be cancel culture sucks, but you can't be shut up, that's not funny, and cancel culture sucks. If you know what I mean. I don't even know what I mean. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I did. I I deleted my Tom Segura music uh, last night because I realized it had Uncle Walt on the visual. I didn't want to keep that. Now I was intending to do a new one, and then I forgot until this morning when I said, "Oh shit, I got no visual for the Tom Segura thing." So I'll just say, comedians that are funnier than Segura. Today's comedian who is funnier than Tom Segura is Sarah Talamash. She will be taping her special tonight at Grove 34 in Astoria, Queens, and I will be there. It's being executive produced by her husband, Joe List. It's going to be a really great show. But Sarah is one of the 10 billion comedians who are funnier than Segura. Now, oh, did you hear that with the rebumbling and dumbling? I heard it. I liked it. It didn't get quite the same the second time. It was like thunderous. It was like God hit my table. No God. There is no God. Back off. Um, the Segura thing. On my and this I have to admit I'm wrong. I admit when I'm wrong, and I did admit it. I apologized when I'm wrong. This guy Zachary Hertz, like my dick hurts. Zachary Hertz. Um, I'm sorry, Zach. Now I have to apologize again. Before I even start, I have to apologize for what I about to tell you that I needed to apologize for yesterday. It says on the Segura thing. He says, "You preach about being humble and kind, yet attack physical looks." I did call both Segura and Bert Kreischer fatty in my little rant there, and that was wrong. I apologize for that. Even though, and this is not an excuse, but even though they call each other fat, and it's pretty well documented that Segura used to be obese, and Bert is still overweight. But I shouldn't do that, and he's absolutely right. Zachary Hertz is right. You preach about being humble and kind, yet attack physical looks. You're upset that Tom is mean, yet you're pretty harsh. I was pretty harsh. I'm not pretty harsh. I'm not punching down on this part. I don't apologize. I'm not punching down on Tom Segura. He chose to be punching down and picking on people who are less fortunate than him. And all I'm doing is pushing back on that. And it's like you're saying, if somebody stands up to a bully, that's being too harsh. No, no, I'm not being too harsh. You insulted Bert, and it's amusing. You're going after some of the biggest names in the game. Well, I wouldn't be going after. I did insult Bert, uh, and maybe I shouldn't have drugged. Shouldn't have drugged. I didn't drug him. Ari Shafir drugged him. I didn't drug him. I shouldn't have dragged him into the conversation. I don't know how I included Bert, but you're right. I'll apologize for that too. You're right. I shouldn't have dragged him into that conversation. Biggest names in the game. What game? Comedy or podcasting? No doubt that they are selling tickets. No doubt that they are attracting ears on their podcast. Yes, but I'm not go. I'm not. I didn't. Again, I didn't start this, and they don't know I exist. That's how small I am. And even if they did know I exist, I don't think they would give a shit what I'm saying about them. Tom has given a vast platform to one of the biggest homeless advocates, Dr. Drew. Uh, he's given a platform to Dr. Drew. Um, I'm not even sure he's really a doctor, to be honest with you. But he's a homeless advocate? No. No, he's not. And giving a platform to a guy to talk about stuff you disagree with doesn't show me much. I mean, I do that every day here. We have people on. I don't agree with everybody. Tom has also donated to many organizations that provide meals, clothing, education, and medical care to those who can't afford it. Show me some fucking proof of that, brother. That you made that shit up. Nobody calls people a piece of shit, tells them they should be dead. You should be shot. Your life is meaningless. You don't do anything. You don't deserve to live. Who does that? I've been volunteering for almost 50 years. I've never seen anybody on any kind of soup line, soup kitchen stuff, anybody volunteering anywhere, anybody who gives anywhere, who will say the homeless are pieces of shit. And what you're saying, if it was true, that would make him a complete hypocrite. Telling these people they have no, their lives are meaningless and they don't deserve to exist. Yet going and feeding them. No, I'm calling bullshit on you, Zachary Hertz. You bullshitting bullshitter. I'm sorry. I'm sorry again. Am I being too harsh on bullshitting Zachary? I don't have the right to call you Zach. We're not friends. I judge a person on their actions, not their words. Okay, but again, show me some fucking actions. I don't even want to get in there. But this whole thing about people, you're a piece of shit, and you deserve to be thrown in the trash. When your income is based on people liking your content, it says a lot about how Tom became one of the most well-known and liked comics, YouTuber, and entrepreneur. You're out of touch, dude. I apologize for calling him fatty, even though I apologize for that. Listen, they could call me bald and ugly and whatever, stupid, old, whatever they want to call me. That's not being harsh, because that's not punching down on people less fortunate than them. Maybe I'm less fortunate in the fact that my wife hates me right now, but she'll get over it. Anyway, so I apologize for that, and I said, "I'm sorry I hurt you. I think you're wrong about him." I would do that. I volunteered for 50 years or so. Anybody who doesn't advocate, anybody who would advocate killing homeless people, if you're a volunteer, you would not do that. Anyway, Willie's been patiently waiting in the background there today. Well, one of the comedians who is much funnier than Tom Segura. I'm sticking with that. I don't care what Zachary Balls Hurts says about it.
Jesus Christ.
What? Wrong about things. I apologize for calling Bert fat.
Bro,
How I
bro, you're fucking killing me this morning, dude. It's funny. It's so funny. I no, I get it. I get it that here's my thing. I don't think it's wrong to bully a bully. Like I got bullied a lot when I was growing up, and I mean that's kind of how I started going the other way, and I definitely like took it too far, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But that's how it started for me. Like I started standing up to bullies, and then if I saw you bullying somebody else, I was gonna bully you. You know, like it was weird, But then as years went by, it got worse and worse, and I went out of
Right.
control. But I do think it's important to when I mean, because what they do is definitely a form of bullying, and um, to for me, I think that you can't let it go unchecked. You can't not just, you know what I mean. There's got to be somebody out there saying, you're a fucking dick for saying this. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, and,
Like,
I am wrong for calling him fat. I am definitely wrong for calling him fat, but you have to understand when you're dealing with a bully, and sometimes you get emotional back, and and it is like a fight, and
yeah,
sometimes you will, go to fucking stick your thumb in their eye, and
yeah, no,
that's what that was. I mean,
yeah, and like, yeah, because it gets real tit for tat. You know what I mean? When
yeah,
you get but that's also why it's not healthy too. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's not. There are other ways to fight hate. I suppose. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah, but and I'm not really looking to get into a fight with Tom Segura. Again, I don't think he's ever gonna even know I said anything about like who the fuck is Mine Dog? Who the fuck
Well,
is
and
Matt
yeah, and
Apple?
even if you found out again, I don't, because we're a blip on the radar. We're not even really a blip on the radar in comparison to what they're doing. So, like, they're probably not going to give a shit.
Right.
We're talking heads to them. That's it.
Yeah. Podcast Cringe is doing much better numbers at dissing Tom Segura at least twice a week, and Tom
Right?
Segura
Yeah. See, so like,
doesn't react to him. I don't
right.
know. I don't know how and why I brought Bird into it. I'm see. I've always had this kind Bert because Bert is a likable.
Oh yeah, super likable.
And you because he's been bullied.
Yeah.
been bullied by Jay Moore big time, and I was very sympathetic to him in that. And so I don't know how I brought him into this because I don't think he's mean spirited the way Segura is. I
No,
think
I think he's fun loving, and I think that's actually like his thirst for adventure and shit has made him who he is. You know what I
right.
mean? When you really
Yeah.
think about Bert Kreischer and his career and the different things that he's done, it's really been that he would, yeah, let's go do this cool fucking thing, like
Yeah.
he got to do a lot of really cool shit.
Yep. And I think he's under the influence. I think he looks up to Segura in some way. Like or
Yes.
some way he's kind of jealous of him or just admires him. And then when they get together and Tom is doing the bullying stuff, Bert feels obliged to kind of say, "Oh, you're right." But then Bert would say, "You're right." To anybody sitting across the table from him, he would, he's a very agreeable type of guy. It's
Oh
not like
yeah. Oh yeah.
he,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
He's
So
gonna say actually what he really does is he he will say whatever he needs to say to get you to continue on. Like if what you're doing or saying is amusing him, he'll say and do whatever to keep you engaged and going. You
yeah.
know what I mean? He's a goater.
Right. That podcast cringe guy is brutal on Bert too. I mean, but uh and I don't know if he's right about stuff, but he points out stuff where you can see that Bert is making this lie up on the spot. Like he's telling a story to try to impress the person across the table from him, and he's kind of just making it up on the spot, and the guy's pointing it out, and I'm like,
Well,
it
not
feels like
everybody
you're right, but,
not
but I
everybody can do that with the ease of Theo Vaughn. It's
right,
like,
right,
like,
uh,
dude, Theo Vaughn, when he tells stories, man, he'll say some of the craziest fucking shit. You're like, there's no way that's a real thing that happened. You know what I mean? But he just lets it flow right out like it's a real fucking thing. That, like, oh, we used to eat 12 squirrels a weekend. Like, fucking what?
yeah.
Like, calm the fuck down.
And the other comment is Chris Brown without a face on YouTube, Chris Brown. So he's obviously not Chris Brown. He just
Yeah,
says
it's not the Chris
this
Brown, I'm
guy
sure.
sounds like a poor, meaning me. This guy sounds like a
Jesus.
poor. Now you're not even using your own insults. You're using Tom Segura's insults, which is weak. I don't care if you want to insult me, but come up with
No,
your own.
I mean, that's his fanship showing through.
Yeah,
Like he's like, hey, I'm gonna defend my buddy Tom the
yeah,
way Tom would,
yeah. What Kelly says? What's
I do have a couple news stories, just a
okay?
couple.
All right. You want to do the news? Well, I
I
have to
mean,
do. We
I don't
can't
know
do
if
the
this
movie.
guy's going to
We
show
can't.
up or not.
We can't do. No, he's not going to show up. I have a feeling he's not going to show
Chris
up.
Kuhn.
He didn't even tell me who he was, but we can't do the news without doing the music. Now you're probably going to be muted, so maybe not though. If I don't take
If
you
I
out.
see it, you want me to undo it when
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think if I don't take you out, it won't mute you. Problem is, every time I run the thing and solo you or whatever, well, that's just run the news. And now, my wife hates me. Is in the news. Yes, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Nope, you're muted. You just remuted it.
I'm hitting it.
I know.
Okay, I hit it.
I'm a dick.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Good. All right. Verizon. Anyway, New York Representative George Santos received an additional 10 superseding charges yesterday to go along with the 13 charges he was already facing. Yet he still continues to not only not resign, but he has continued his pledge that he will run for a seat out of Long Island, as you're well aware. However, he is due in court on October 27th, so we'll see.
Remind me to comment on that after the news is over. Go ahead.
Yes, I figured, and and then we'll cover what MNCM means, because I put that in my name and we have questions about it in the chat.
Oh,
yeah. Hurricane Lydia has struck Mexico. Fires are burning. There's wars in the Holy Land, and yet still no Jesus.
Well,
pretty sure the Antichrist is going to show up first, though. Pretty sure.
I'll tell you a really weird story about that, but go ahead.
All right.
Because I met you.
Okay, so I don't know who you got for the World Series, but I'd like to see the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Minnesota Twins just for the temperature swing, because it's fucking cold in Minnesota right now. Go to mybookie.com to make your picks today.
There you go. Is that the news?
That's the news.
All right, wait. Willie's going to be muted again. MCN. He's there. MNCM. My navel cock meat. My navel cock meat.
So close. Matt Napple's campaign manager.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So Soros, Santos. I keep calling him Soros, George.
I don't know why. For days.
It's George. What the hell? Helicopters. I think I'm under attack.
Oh no.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh my.
It could be either Soros or Santos attacking me at this point. I don't want him to go to jail too soon. I want him to be in the race. If they take him out too soon, they're going to put a good candidate in there, and then I have no fucking chance.
Well, it seems like so according to the story that I read, it seems like there's a number of candidates that are actually going to run for that seat because he's said that he's going to run. So there's a number of candidates that I forget. I can't look it up because I'm
primarying him, but an incumbent never loses. The Republicans have already backed him. He's going to be the Republican nominee. There are Republicans running against him. There's no. There are probably a couple of Democrats who are running to going to be primaried, but I don't know who the Democrat is going to be. But that.
Do you get to be in the debates? Do you need like a certain amount of signatures or anything? Or
I'm already in. I'm in.
When are they?
They don't start for a while because we still have this year's election coming up in 2 weeks.
Right.
and then so they'll probably start in like January or something.
God, I can't wait.
Um,
I can't wait.
but that district is not going to vote Democrat. They're just not. They're a Republican district. So running as an independent, I'm basically saying, I got to tell them, I'm down with old school Republicanism. I'm not down with new school Republicanism. That's my pitch to them. And what if they ask what I mean by that? I'm not going to get too deep because they don't really care about the issues. They care about beating the Democrats. That's what they care about. It's fucking team. It's a team sport. But Soros is definitely going to be unless he's in jail. And if he's in jail, I got to drop out of the race because I have no.
Nah. Why?
I can't run against a real guy. The only reason I can have any shot in the world is because I would be running against a guy who's gonna go to jail. If he's already in jail, I lose my opportunity. That's my problem.
I mean, he's definitely going to jail. I just want you to know that. Like looking at the charges and everything, there's no way they're not getting him on some of this shit.
Yeah, definitely. He laundered money. He stole money from contributors. He did a lot.
Because he would double charge cards. You know, he would have card information and then make a secondary charge that wasn't authorized. You know, I mean, dude, just being a delivery driver for a pizza place, I know that's no bueno. You know what I mean? Like I know that you can get your ass in hot water just for adding a tip, bro. You know what I mean? So like it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
The worst thing that ever happened to him was getting elected.
Right, because it really put the glass on him. It put the looking glass on him. Big time.
He's been committing these crimes his whole life. He just
probably, for sure,
away with it. But
because I mean, you don't just hop into this thinking you're going to get away with it all. You've probably been doing it so long. That's why he was so bold and blatant, is because he'd probably been doing it undetected for so long that he kind of got that stupid invincible fucking feeling that criminals tend to get. You know,
bulletproof. Yeah, that bulletproof thing. What was somebody talking about last night? Now I'm forgetting. Because I was talking about being young and the idea that you're bulletproof, that you really. Oh, somebody was talking about football and how crazy you have to be to play football because they have a tent on the sidelines where there's a doctor who looks at you, does a quick evaluation to see if you got brain damage, and if not, get back in the game. Yeah. And why would you even do that? And the money is a big lure, but when you're 24, 25 years old, even if your best friend just got a concussion and now he's talking like all stupid and stuff, like he's Gary Busey all of a sudden. He was Einstein a minute ago. Now he's Gary Busey. You're still going to say that can't happen to me. I'm 24, 25. I'm bulletproof. That's not going to happen to me. And the money's so good. So it's that belief that even though you watch it happen time and time again, it's never going to happen to you.
Yeah.
That whole fucking bulletproof nonsense. Who knows?
It can really lead you down a bad path quickly. In a lot of different ways.
Right.
So did you see what Kelly Beanflicker here said? She feels like me being your campaign manager sounds like her duties are going to double. So I want to mention, so last night I did one of those Star Maker lives, and I had, I think 319 people came through the live or whatever. But dude, and I was saying this to my wife last night afterwards. Kelly is so awesome. I chose such a good fan club president because this girl gets into my lives all the time and will share like links to my songs, links to the Conway's Cool Kid page. Like she does a bang up job. Like,
but I feel like she's probably taking some lessons from George Santos. She's taking credit card numbers from all your fans, and
yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
My fans don't have credit cards.
That's right. They don't even have debit cards.
My fans are the poor, don't you know?
Well, Mike saying he got. I guess I got fired. He was the first. He volunteered to be campaign manager, but then
Okay.
he
I'm
didn't.
sorry, Mike.
No,
I'm
he
sorry,
didn't.
Mike. I got a
He,
lot on my plate. I was just,
yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't. He didn't do anything. He just said, "I'm going to campaign manager," and then went away for 2 months or 3 months.
and then said bye.
Yeah, we haven't heard from him in 3 months. He shows up. Hey, where's my job? It's like, yeah, it's like you go in and apply for a job, and then you leave. They say, okay, you got the job, and then you don't come back for 6 months, and then you walk in and say, okay, I'm ready to start.
Now, has he been collecting funds though? Was he there
I
long
hope.
enough to know that you're not collecting funds?
I think so. I hope so. I'm not taking any money, and I'm on the Tom Segura plan for campaigning. I'm a poor. Uh, I'm not taking any money and not asking for money. I'm using all the money that's in my pocket, and I don't have pockets because I'm in my underwear. I'm not really in my underwear. Kelly put that out there that I'm in my underwear every morning, and my wife saw something that she wrote on Facebook about that. She, what are you doing on your I'm not flirting with young girls. I'm not showing them my very full underwear.
My very full underwear.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I wanted to tell you briefly about Jesus because you said still no Jesus. At first, there's still no locusts either. I mean, all those things you mentioned, the earthquake, 2 earthquakes in Afghanistan, Hurricane Lydia. Mikey,
Yeah.
we should let Mikey know about this. Mikey's wife is Lydia, and he would make a big to do at Hurricane Lydia. It's like a reason to film.
Right. That's great.
No Jesus, she said. This is gonna make me sound like a fruitcake, like you, like a fruitcake, like you,
All right.
with your God and devil arguing story. 1997, I was working for the cult, and the cult had all these fucking belief systems that were just fucking driving me insane. And I was losing my mind with it because there were so many different belief systems about good and evil and God and the devil and I'm like, I'm trying to be agnostic here. Could you leave me out of this? And I said, you know what? I said, if there is a God or anything, I need to see a sign for myself. I need to see some evidence of this for myself. And I said, I need to see a sign. So it
It's a
comes
bad
up,
thing to ask for, Matt.
right? And it comes up. We got to take a van ride now because we're taking so much equipment. We have to take a little small box truck, a Ryder box truck across the country, full of electronic equipment. And me and my buddy Frank, and we loaded up with about a quarter pound of weed for the ride. And we're driving across the country, and all everywhere I'm going, I'm seeing signs. God is real. God is waiting for you where you're going. All this stuff. And Frank goes, there's your sign. There's your sign. There's your sign.
just Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, every
Got a
fucking
truck of
sign in the
signs
back.
gets in
Right.
front of you.
So we get to Kansas, and
Yeah,
I'm driving.
Kansas. They got a lot of them.
I'm driving. Yeah, I'm driving through Kansas, and we're going. I'm doing like 90 miles an hour, and Frank is smoking the whole quarter pound of weed. I mean, the thing is reeking. I mean, smoke everywhere. You can't see through. It's like a Cheech and Chong movie. You're like this, trying to get the smoke out of your eyes to see the
That's
road.
great.
And I get pulled over by a cop. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
this is fucked up. I'm in Kansas with a New
Yeah,
York
Kansas
plate.
don't play.
Right. And the cop comes over, and I rolled down the window, and it was totally Cheech and Chong, like the smoke blowing over the cop.
Yes.
And he asked for my license and registration. I can't find the registration. I give him my license. He goes back to his car, and I'm like, Frank, fucking start eating that weed, something, man. I don't want to go to jail in Kansas. Frank, and he can't eat any more weed. He can't down it anymore. He's got water in
Like
his
squirrel just
never
with
gonna get really
marijuana in his
okay,
face.
put the shit away. He's coming back, and the guy comes back, and the cop comes back, and he hands me a warning, not even a ticket, a warning, which is supposed to say, "Slow down. You're in Kansas. Don't drive too fast." And that's it. I said, he goes, you were going really fast. I said, yeah, I didn't realize what the speed limit was. He said, there are signs everywhere. And Frank said, see, he's talking about the signs, man. He knows he's looking for
Man,
the
dude.
signs.
Matt, how are you not like a devout Christian then?
Hold on, it gets crazier than this. So we get to Denver, and the Timothy McVeigh trial is going on. Now, Timothy McVeigh blew up the Oklahoma City with a Ryder truck full of fertilizer that he turned into a bomb. I'm in a Ryder truck full of weed smoke with electronic equipment behind it, and we're just kind of like going through the road here, and this is, stop, cop stop, whatever, security stop in front of the courthouse where he is, and they just just waving me through. He goes, watch for the signs, watch for the signs. And Frank's going,
Bro,
listen, he's talking to
bro.
you. And I'm like, I wish I'd never said I need to see a sign.
Is this the episode where we both turn back to Jesus? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it could be. It could be. It gets much more intense, and since Chris Kuhn's not here, we have time for this. So I get to LA. We get to LA, and our hotel's on Wilshire Boulevard, but our room's not ready yet because we're way the fuck early because we've been driving like 90 miles an hour across the country, and we're like 3 days early. So our hotel room's not ready. So you
had time to go to jail. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. So we go up to North Hollywood, and I get a motel room, and then we go out, and we're walking down Wilshire Boulevard, and there's this camp, the homeless camp, that looks like hell. There's all these homeless people around fires. It's February in LA, but it's cold, and all these people, and not really cold for a New Yorker, but cold for LA.
Yeah.
And they're all around this fire, and they're like chanting and shit. And I'm like, wow, it looks like a fucking movie about hell. And this guy comes over, and he grabs Frank. He goes, hey, where you been? I miss you. And Frank's like, I don't know you, man. I'm not from around here. And the guy looked like a demon. And he's like trying to drag Frank into this weird cult thing fire thing they got going in there. And I'm like, yo, this guy's with me, and I'm like, I'm getting bullying with this guy now. I'm like ready to fight him, and he goes, hey, it's cool, man. I know who you are. I'm like, you know who I am? What the fuck does that mean? Back off. We go to this fucking restaurant, and now this is our first 3 minutes in LA, and it's fucking already insane. Like devil people.
Yeah, LA is like that. Right. LA is like that, especially North Hollywood.
So we go to this weird, like Asian hot dog place. It's just a fucking weird place. And there's a security guard arguing with the clerk behind the counter. And then they start getting into a fight, and they're beating each other up, and we're just trying to get some food, and the place is going crazy. Cops come, and he goes, hey, I said, we were just trying to get to the cop. I said, we were just trying to get some food. He said, just go back to your room and watch for the signs. Watch for the signs? What the fuck you mean watch for the signs?
Dude, Matt.
Yeah, it's getting crazier and crazier. I'm like, everybody shut the fuck up about signs. I don't want to hear about no signs.
It was disturbing your spirit, all those signs. It was
totally fucking me up. We get back to our little motel room. I think we ordered like pizza or something, and fell asleep. We wake up, and boom! What the fuck was that? Fucking hole in the wall. What the fuck? Boom! What the heck? Another hole.
Oh, shit, bro.
There's a thing called the North Hollywood shootout. You can look it up. 2 guys in armor, body armor.
Yeah, outside of Bank of America.
That was happening across the street. They were holding cops at bay. And
bro, you were like,
I was.
Oh my god, dude!
One of the bullets would have taken my head out if I was still sitting on the bed that I was on. But I got up to move, and it went right. And Frank's laying in the bed, and went right over him and through the wall. And then all of a sudden, we turn on the news, and they're saying the neighborhood is under siege. Lock the doors, and we're like laying on the floor watching this fucking thing. And like freaking out for hours, like, and I'm like fucking shitting myself. I'm like, I didn't come to LA to die like this. Is this? Oh, please, Jesus, help me! I believe. So
you had a come to Jesus moment there in the hotel room.
Yeah, well, definitely. I was
all
like,
right.
I was praying to anything, whatever,
Right,
if
sure,
anything.
yeah. Bullets whizzing, hey, there's no atheists in foxholes. That's a
Yeah,
saying for a fucking reason, bro.
absolutely. And the cops are on the season. The cops are outgunned, outmanned, and all this stuff. Finally, it comes to an end, and I get a phone call from our hotel. We can go to our hotel. Oh.
Yeah, thank you. Please get me the fuck out of here. Could you even leave though?
Yeah, yeah. Finally, I mean, after the thing was cleared, well into the afternoon, we go
Fuck,
down.
dude.
We go down.
Fuck.
It doesn't stop here. We we go down to the hotel, and I got it now. I'm in there, and I'm taking a survey of the place because we have a job to do. The cult is at this hotel.
we have a job to do. Fuck that. Yeah.
Right. The cult is doing a show, and I'm gonna go check out the ballroom and make sure of all the facilities and make sure we got and that the equipment is loaded in right and all this kind of stuff. And there's a LA marathon going, like a race going on in front of the hotel or something. And I'm down in there, and Frank turns on the TV and he says, "What are you doing running the race?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I just saw you on television running in the race." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And then all these people coming up to me goes, "Hey man, how did you get out of the race?" Well, he says, "You were leading." I was like, "What? I wasn't in any race." He goes, "Yeah, we all saw you, man." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? This is all," and everybody's telling me it was in a fucking race. It was on television. They saw me, and then people from the cult start showing up, and they said, "Oh, we were watching you. We didn't know you were going to be entering the race." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not in any race. I can't run fucking 5 feet." So we go to McDonald's, and again, there's a fucking fight at McDonald's. Everybody's fighting in LA. It's like crazy, and uh, it's just this wild scene. We finally get our stuff. We sit down, and Frank is right across from me, and he's with Franco is wavering between hardcore atheism and complete born again Christian, and going back and forth in his own fucking stuff. And all of a sudden, I hear a voice next to him across the table from me goes, "The signs have been all around. You just haven't noticed them." I go, "What the fuck?" I look up, and this guy's got an army jacket on. He's a homeless guy. Frank said to him and says, "Who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out off our table." He goes, "I'm here for him." For me.
Bro.
On his
Bro, are
jacket.
you fucking shitting me right now?
The fucking on this jacket, he's got an army jacket. It says "De Jesus," of Jesus. On his fucking thing, and he's talking to me, and he's talking to me like a shaman, like he's just there to give me a message. He goes, "The signs have been there all along. You just refuse to notice them." And
right.
and I'm like having a conversation with this guy, and Frank's yelling at me. He goes, "What are you talking to this fucking guy for? He's just one of those fucking freaks from the park that was trying to devil people." He goes, "I'm not one of them. I'm from the other side." I'm like, "Yeah,
Right.
okay, now this is getting a little too fucking." And then me and Frank start getting into an argument. We're yelling and we look, and the guy's fucking gone. Guy's fucking gone. That's my Jesus story. Now that was the end of all the spooky shit. Then it got really crazy with the cult, with the Easter Bunny stuff, and
well, yeah, because you were supposed to leave then. That's why it got even crazier.
yeah, it did get
You
crazy.
you were already supposed to have exited.
Right, that
Like,
night.
remember what Tommy was talking about? You know what I'm talking like when we were talking with Tommy and he was talking about like our path and stuff, and we have our own free will. Like, listen, you were given all those signs that there was a different direction for you.
Yeah,
But you stayed on the course that you were on instead of, you were at one of those impasses and you just decided to stay on the road that you were on rather than take this other path that.
yeah,
And here's the thing, like I feel like for myself, like I think Christianity and any faith can be a very beneficial thing. But I feel like I've moved beyond that in my spiritual journey. Like I've moved beyond the need to have that because I understand the universe in a different way, and I understand that the source is the higher power. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
like, so, like, but like, what we journey through in those spiritual experiences, like, it changes us, bro. Like, if you get into a faith system, any faith system, and you really live out that faith, it will change who you are. It
Right.
will change the fabric of the kind of person that you are, usually for the better. You know what I mean?
Well,
Except for
not
the people that want to
yeah,
latch onto the hateful
yeah.
side.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say if you go into an Anton LaVey's fucking Church of Satan party, I don't think you're
Right,
gonna.
right, right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. But
I mean, there's still positive and negative energies, which and I'm not even delegitimizing Christianity or any of those faiths as not being legitimate because they're certainly legitimate. They have all the power that you believe that they will have. You know what I mean?
right,
Because that's kind of the way it's set up,
right,
and it took me a long time to figure that shit out because I've had some weird ass spiritual experiences, bro. Like, I got
I,
involved with a charismatic youth group when I was a Catholic charismatic youth group when I was a teenager. And like, I went out to some retreats in Steubenville, Ohio, where I literally, bro, I was in a tent of 3,000 people. And I saw this priest pass by each row, and as like with a Eucharist, he was holding like this big Eucharist up in this big, like, a dawning chalice, and he was going through the crowd. And as he passed through the crowd, people people fell out and rested in the spirit. People would start laughing. People would start crying. People would start speaking to, like, I saw gifts of the spirit literally spread throughout a tent of 3,000 people. Like, I've seen that shit. I've experienced that stuff. You know what
wow,
I mean? So like the realness of those things is not lost on me, but I understand the power of collective thought. You
right,
know what I mean? And what that can do.
right.
The universe has got plenty of fucking tricks, bro. Plenty
So
of them.
later on that night, after the Angel de Jesus guy in the McDonald's, we went up to our hotel room and watching 60 Minutes, and 60 Minutes is doing a thing on UFO abductions. And I see three of the people who I'm working with that weekend on the CBS special there, 60 Minutes thing about UFOs, and they're on the panel. They're panel discussion about alien abductions, and one of the girls I was hitting on, she was part of the club. She was so fucking hot. And I was trying to get with her, and then I was talking to her about her beliefs, and that's when she started telling me about how, yeah, because I was like, you don't really believe you were abducted by aliens, and we started getting into that stuff, and she, with a straight face, told me she believed in the Easter Bunny and all that kind of stuff. Literally believes in the Easter Bunny, right? Not like leaves open a possibility that there's some truth. There might have been some kind of big bunny. No, she literally believes there's an Easter Bunny who comes around, gives us chocolates and stuff on Easter Sunday, and hides eggs and all that kind of stuff. Like, your parents were hiding the eggs.
I
Um,
mean, that's fully entrenched in the matrix, in my
yeah.
opinion.
So, and
Like,
the cult believed in all that stuff. So we're there now for the whole week, and we're doing all kinds of extracurricular activities, going to the beach and Venice Beach and all that kind of stuff. And my friend Ralph comes out there. Ralph Dice Clay comes out there, and our friend Lenny is now the head of security at the House of Blues. He's
nice.
friends with Dan Aykroyd and all that stuff. So he gets us VIP. Uh, Upper deck, the VIP lounge on the top of the House of Blues. We're up there
Nice.
for a
Nice.
Rick James Tina Marie concert, and that's when the James Coburn. I'm standing in the House of Blues, and James Coburn is standing next to me, and Frank is like tugging on my sleeve, like, what the fuck's up? He goes, "Don't look now, but in like Flint wants to have a conversation with you." I was like, "In like Flint." And I look over, it's James Coburn. I'm like, holy fuck. I don't know. I'm not like, I got nothing to say to fucking movie stars. Like, I'm not going to gush over him. Oh, I'm a big fan. I'm just like, I'm trying to avoid him. I don't want, and he's just looking at me like, eh. And, and I just looked over. I said, hey, Jim, what's up? He goes, I'm here to drop off a script. The bartender gave me a script. I'm reading it. It's okay. And like, now he's like talking to me, making small talk with me, James Coburn. And Frank's going, he thinks you're Bruce Willis. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, because Frank always said I look like Bruce Willis. I never looked like Bruce Willis ever. I mean, there's no, I never saw Bruce Willis with a mustache. I wasn't wearing glasses at the time, but even then, the only thing we had in common was we were both bald. But I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And he's talking to me. He goes, what have you been up to lately? I said, I'm out here in California with a cold. And he goes, oh, cold. And we're making small talk with James Coburn. And and Ralph Dice Clay comes over and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Coburn, can I get a picture with you?" And he's like, not right now. Yeah, he doesn't want to be bothered with him. He's talking to Bruce, and fucking Ralph is bothering him for a picture. He's like, "Come on, get, you know." He's ready to call security, not knowing that Ralph is with the head of security there. So then there's this little outdoor place. Like it leads to a stairs down, and it's a way for celebrities to sneak out back without getting attacked by people. And we're standing out there smoking a joint or something, and Coburn comes by again, and Ralph says, "Mr. Coburn, please, just one picture." And Coburn turns to me, and goes, "Hey, Bruce, take a picture with the guy, will you?"
Okay, so what year was it? It was
like
96?
97 and 98, something like that. It was late 90s.
Because
we can
Bruce
figure it out
Willis,
by the North Hollywood, whenever that was. The North Hollywood shootout is at
right? Did you have hair then at all?
I think it was shaved. I have hair now.
Was it like short though? But it was like short.
No, it was just shaved like this.
It was shit because Bruce Willis in The Jackal, there's a movie called The Jackal where he played an assassin, and Bruce Willis had a mustache in that movie. And I'm thinking it was made right around that time. He shoots the shit out of Jack Black with a big ass fucking gun in that movie. It's a great fucking scene.
Last week of February 1997. That's when it was.
Oh, okay.
And Howard Stern was debuting his movie Private Parts.
Nice.
And they were having the premiere at Billboard on Sunset Street. And
Dude,
we got...
go ahead.
We got invited to that.
That's awesome. Did you go?
Yeah, we went.
That's fucking awesome.
After a cult show. The cult show ended at like 8:00, and then we drove down to Sunset. And when I walk into Billboard, people think I'm making this up. You talk about Theo Von. People would definitely think I'm making all this shit up. If you go back to now when we first got the van, I need to sign all the way up to where we are now. Walking into Billboard, Slash is on stage. He goes, "Hey, Bruce, you got your harps with you? Come on up and jam." Slash says that to me. I'm like, what the fuck is with this Bruce shit? I mean,
bro, I need some pictures of you in 1996. Jesus fucking Christ.
No, I don't.
Because these are people that know him.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I didn't look any different than I look now, except for the gun. I mean, really, literally did not look any different. I'm wearing a suit and I'm looking.
That's weird. Yeah. That's so weird.
And then,
I mean, I've been mistaken for somebody like that, but only one time and not by multiple people. You know what I mean? Like, that's so crazy.
And all in like in a weekend in a place with that guy. That's his town. That he owns that town at that time.
Right.
He was like one of the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah.
And now I got all these chickies coming up, and they're like trying to get with Bruce Willis. I'm like, listen to the voice. I mean, if you're that fucking blind, just do I even sound like Bruce Willis?
Right.
But it was just
kudos to you for not exploiting that, because there's a lot of people that would just roll with it and act like they were Bruce Willis.
If I thought I could, but I'm like,
because it's a dangerous game to get caught up in, especially like in a celebrity circle. Because eventually, wait a minute, hang on a second. This is actually part of the twist of Ocean's 12? I think. Have you seen the Ocean movies?
No.
Which, by the way, fucking Bruce Willis is in the scenes that we're fucking talking about. Because so in Ocean's 12, they use the character that Julia Roberts plays, forget her name, but they say how much she looks like the actress Julia Roberts. So they're going to exploit the fact that she looks like Julia Roberts to gain access to a certain part of the museum of where they want to steal this fucking thing from. And so while they're in there though, and she's acting like Julia Roberts, Bruce Willis fucking runs into them.
Wow.
And knows that it's not the real Julia.
Wow.
I swear to God, bro. Like, this is.
That's funny.
I feel like I'm in an episode of the fucking Twilight Zone right now with you telling me all this.
I was unaware of that, and I'm just looking at the cast. You're right. Bruce Willis was in that. Julia Roberts is in that. Man, what a cast in this fucking movie, huh?
Oh, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. All the ocean movies are really banger movies. I like.
You know, it was on. It was on in the where I put my last gig Friday night. It was on, and I was because I noticed Bernie Mac in it and Clooney in the hotel room scene. I was like, wow, I didn't know Bernie Mac was in those Oceans movies.
Oh fuck yeah, I love fucking Bernie Mac, dude. Bernie Mac's the shit, dude.
This fucking cast is amazing. I mean, everybody in it. Fucking
bro, yeah, it's dude. If you haven't seen dude, you need to like on a weekend, or well, probably not a weekend because that's your busiest time. But when you got a few hours, okay, block off a few hours and just take a day and just run through them, bro. They're fucking fabulous.
They all got all this many people in it. All these fucking stars.
I mean, every one of them is an ensemble cast, and even the new ones, they have like Ocean's 8. I think is the female cast. There's a female Ocean's movie that they just did. I haven't seen that one yet, but I definitely want to.
I'm just gonna read off some of these names just in one movie. I mean, where they fucking pay all these fucking people? Catherine Zeta-Jones, George Clooney, Vincent Cassel, Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt, Eddie Izzard. Elliot Gould, Matt Damon, Bruce Willis, Cherry Jones, Andy Garcia, Robbie Coltrane, Bernie Mac, Don Cheadle, Gia Paris, Casey Affleck, Carl Reiner, Topher Grace. I don't know him, but I mean, I get Peter Fonda, Sean Conn, which is James Caan's son. I mean, man,
Tweeter for the Varsity Blues fans.
Yeah, Jerry Weintraub. Man, oh man, it goes on and on. All these people in this fucking movie.
Dude, like I'm telling you, bro, 90s movies, I could crush it in like 90s movie trivia. Like I know so much about it because that was my escape when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like that's the world that I went to get away from the chaos that was my life.
All right. You know? I'm glad you said you would crush it in movies because we're gonna get you in that television show, but last night, and maybe I wasn't even high. I should get high now before I even tell you this. Because I got an epiphany. We should do a movie.
Fuck yeah.
We should do a movie. We already got our token black guy.
Jesus Christ. God.
No, Jesus Christ is not in the movie. But we can write him in. I want to do a movie like a comedy, a dopey, bro comedy, because Hollywood's not doing any good with them right now. They're doing nothing with that shit. And I think we could do something stupid butthead enough. Speaking of stupid buttheads, we lost him for a second. Yeah.
Dude, I was losing my shit. I was like, where the fuck? Where'd he go?
Yeah. No, but so here's the plot, and nobody's gonna fucking steal.
Do I need to take notes?
No, but you need to think about this because the movie should be about what the movie is. Oh wait, well that's a heavy concept. The movie is me as this fucking dopey podcaster trying to help comedians, you, GD, Carl, all get some notoriety and notarized, get known.
Yeah.
And so I want to put together this now the movie is about me wanting to put together a movie for you guys and getting you guys to come here, and I'm going to do as many gigs as I can to support this thing and put all the money from the gigs that I'm doing into the production to get you here, get hotel rooms for everybody, and going to get you all gigs in the area to finance this movie, to get you guys here, to pay for the whole thing, and taping that. Whoop, you're getting phone calls. You know,
Dude, the internet is fucking with us hard right now. The internet, like, listen, they don't want us talking about this. They do not want us brainstorming this shit.
It's Hollywood trying to shut us down. They don't want this movie
for real, because they know. Listen, because listen, bro, I'm ready to run. Like, I'm ready to just go out and get it. My wife knows too. I'm chomping at the bit.
Right.
Like, all I want to do is work.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, so I'm thinking like a spring summer type of thing where we can get people here for a week, 2 weeks, and do it. It would be surreal. It's like a movie about a movie that the fourth wall has been broken.
And like, I'm sure that we could shoot some of it at Jackie's house. He likes to have things filmed. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I'm sure Jackie would love to be a part of it in some way. You know,
there's so many opportunities. And so I want to do this. I really want to do this. I have I got all the production gear that we need. I have people that will volunteer to be part of it. I think we could do, it won't be like it won't be like a Hollywood production, but it will be good enough that people will watch. And I think we can make it fucking really funny and unusual in the fact that there is no fourth wall here. We're making a movie about a movie that we're making, starting the people in real time.
There's
no fourth wall. It's completely and it will confuse the audience, like because I already came up with some.
And give them a good look too, because man, there's fucking and I can tell just from some of your stories, like some of the haphazard fiascos that have happened while trying to make shit happen. Like, dude, that shit, like, dude, sometimes, like, in the moment, it fucking sucks. It sucks so fucking bad. But when you have a little bit to separate yourself and look back, that shit's fucking hilarious. Like, it's so epically funny that it happened. Like, okay, like me tripping over the fucking speaker during the Last Comic Standing performance. Bro, the fact that happened is ridiculously funny when you consider that I was the first comic at the venue and I took the time to walk the stage before the show and make myself aware of any trip hazards and shit like that. So the fact that I ended up falling over a speaker before I even told the joke, that's like the epitome of what fucking irony and hilarity and irony is. You know what I mean? Like, there's no fucking way this guy came, like, and I'm not kidding you, like, staff members of the fucking venue could confirm that I walked around there, I was collecting energy from the room, you know what I mean? Like, because I have a different process, you know what I mean? And so, but like, dude, for that to happen was ridiculously ironic, and that's comedy all day.
Right.
You know?
Mike Savolo wants to be head of marketing for the movie now.
Well, are you going to just run away? I mean, we need people to market, to know that it's happening. We need
well, let us make the movie, then we'll figure out how to market it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But I mean, but the bottom line, to make a movie like this, you know what it takes? It takes creativity. And you know where you're going to get your creativity from? Creative Live has over 2,000 courses just for you. And right now, they have a 70% off store-wide, site-wide sale on all their courses just for you, the Coffee with the Dog people. Check it out, Creative Live.
It's time to unleash your creative excellence. Dreams won't work if you don't. They never happen overnight, and they rarely follow a straight line. Excellence is a result of the hustle, consistently pushing to do better. And success looks different for everyone. CreativeLive.com charts paths and tailors content for students, but they also encourage independent thinking and exploration. Go outside of your comfort zone. Who knows? You might actually like it. Right now, you can get up to 70% off through this exclusive offer for Coffee with the Dog. CreativeLive.com has site-wide sale for Coffee with the Dog listeners. Save up to 70% off. Go to minddogtv.com and click on the link on the homepage now.
.com. Click on the link on the homepage now for your creative. Oh no, you're not muted.
No, I unmuted it myself.
Yeah. So we will definitely be discussing the movie. I think.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Can we maybe a working title? Get your shit together.
Yeah. I'm open to call it anything.
Poop in a group.
Something.
I'm spitballing.
Yeah. Last night, Steph K, a comedian, she's only been in it for a year and a half.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that.
Yeah, she actually for a year and a half, super impressed what she's been able to accomplish in comedy. Now she's a nurse, a Army vet, and a mom. And one of the things she was talking about, she jokes about, is finding her teenage daughter's vibrator. And if she ends up getting killed, we know it's the daughter who did it, because those are things that you don't want to talk about in public. You don't want. I mean, yes, it's fun. It's funny, but your kid's gonna be really, Mom.
No, stuff involving especially like if I were to joke about my son, and even most of the stuff I say about my wife, I run by her first.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because and especially with my son, like I would never want to say something about Zach that made him upset or because I don't want to change how he behaves around me mainly. Right. You know what I mean? Like I want
a teenager, you don't want any. You think you're the only person who's ever masturbated, and you don't want your friends to know.
Yeah, you don't want the whole world fucking knowing that shit. I don't think.
Once you get older, and you figure out everybody else is doing it. You're not so much traumatized by somebody outing you as a wanker.
Right. Yeah, I think I told you about that scammer that tried to blackmail me or whatever, because I had video chatted with them and masturbated and so all of a sudden I'm doing my thing and all of a sudden it's me on the screen, like it's not the naked girl that I was just video chatting with, it's me and my fucking going at it with my heart. Whoa, that's a turn off. I don't know how any chick does it really, but anyway, so I'm on there and I'm like, what the hell? And then the next thing I know, it's like all these profile pictures of people on my Facebook friends list, and like, if you don't send X amount of money, we're going to send this video to people on your in your family and da da da. I'm like, nobody in my family or on my friends list is going to be surprised that I masturbated with some chick on the internet. Like, nobody's going to give a fuck. You go right ahead and share that shit.
My guest here is here. We're going to bring him in just a second. I just want to say I have blackmail material on call, which is the only thing that's keeping him sort of in check from because if he could, he would humiliate me and embarrass me all day long and just say bad things about me. But I have I love Carl, but let's face it, he would fucking bury his whole family for a joke. He makes
I mean
for a joke. But there was a long stream that they did, his podcast. Sometimes they drink for hours and hours and hours.
Right.
And him and Brock and Jamie were so fucking inebriated. And then there came a point where Carl started mock jacking off, and he didn't know I was watching and capturing this stuff, and basically using a little AI stuff so it's got him with all S&M gay bondage stuff, and he's jacking off in the middle of it. And I posted it on Twitter. He said, please take that down. So I took it down. But the other night when I was looking for commercials to run, I found it and I was like, I still got this stuff in case Carl ever gets out of fucking hand. I know how to put him back in line. Anyway, Gary Michaels is with us. Gary Michaels is the only biker comedy hypnotist in the world, and we're gonna get on it, folks, over there in the chat room, do some fact checking on this. The only one in the world. I'm sure there's one in like Czechoslovakia. We just got like nobody. First of all, nobody can get hypnotized in Czechoslovakian because nobody understands the language. And there is no Czechoslovakia anymore, right? There is Czech Republic, whatever that is. Anyway, I'm just rambling here. He's the only biker comedy hypnotist in the world, and his stage show will no doubt leave you in stitches. He been talking about his performances for years to come. Gary is not only accomplished comedy hypnotist, he is also one of the most recognized voices in the nation, as well as an accomplished magician, comedian, voiceover artist, narrator, radio, TV personality, actor, master of ceremonies, writer, producer, and also sings in a southern rock country band. Ladies and gentlemen,
That's cool.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of hats.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gary Michaels to the Coffee with Dog. Gary, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That's a lot of shit, man. I'm tired. You know, all that stuff I do, I'm just tired. By the way, I want y'all to know, at my age, I don't call it masturbation anymore. I call it a systems check.
Yeah.
Changing your oil. Yeah, I get it.
And it's funny. I heard you talking about that S&M bullshit. My grandson lives next door, and my daughter came out and she said, "Dad, I found a magazine, some S&M bondage stuff under his bed. What do I do?" I said, "Well, you probably can't spank him."
Yeah, that's how those issues start. Really,
I wouldn't whoop his ass because he'd probably enjoy it too damn much.
Dude, my wife gets so mad at me because like I'm really good at pestering her to the point where she hits me, but that's what I'm trying to get her to do in the first place.
Yeah. So it's funny. Miss April, I'm sure she'll pop in here in a minute, but every time I'd give her an orgasm, she used to punch me in the face, and I'm kind of getting into it there for a little while. Until I found out she was faking them all. I mean, that's the relationship that me and April have. She texted me the other day. I was out and about riding somewhere or whatever. She texted me and I got this text that said, "Come home. I want to try a new position." Dude, whatever the fuck I was doing, I jumped on the bike. I'm driving bat out of hell, going through traffic on my motorcycle. I got home and position had already been filled. God damn.
Man.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's damn early, man. Jesus Christ, it's early.
It's a great way to introduce yourself, Gary.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So, with the hypnotist stuff, when you got into hypnosis, was it to score chicks? Because when I got into hypnosis, I was a teenager, and the only reason I got into it was to try to manipulate women.
It's funny, and I hypnotized April the very first night I met her. I promise you, this is a true story. Very first night I met her, I hypnotized her, and I ain't woke a bitch up yet.
She has not heard that safe word.
Right.
No. Oh yeah, there's lots of safe words. She called me, it was funny when we first got together and we were having our fun, and she called me some other guy's name out of the blue, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, who in the hell would name their son Wrong Hole?
That happened to me as a teenager once in the front seat of a Lincoln Town car.
Nice. You ever have you ever try the dolphin sex?
What's that?
Dolphin sex, yeah. When you stick it in the wrong hole, you go.
There is some twitching involved. That's for sure.
So I got to tell you, I just learned that joke a day or two ago. Some guy, random guy, we were out listening to a friend of mine who plays music. His name's Kevin. And I'm doing these magic tricks for these people and cracking jokes and just doing whatever. He said that to me. He said, "You tried dolphin sex?" And what is that? And what was weird is we're here on Panama City Beach, and the place we was at, there was dolphins literally out there in the in the bay. You know, they're out there playing and whatever. And the guy said, you know, me and my wife, we have dolphin sex. I'm like, what is that? He said, you stick it in the wrong hole. She goes, I'm like, dude, I'm using that shit. That was funny.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
That's weird.
Thanks.
Now, there's a problem with dolphins raping people.
They are,
Yes.
yeah. They're very
You know what's
sexual.
there's two animals in the whole world that have sex for fun: humans and dolphins.
And dolphins.
I didn't know they. That's. I learned something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Why do you think I
only
live on
us and
why do
them
you think I
have
live on the
sexual
beach?
pleasure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why do you think I live on the beach, man? The water's right there. If she gets, you know,
All right.
she gets crazy, I go to the beach. Where you going? I said, we'll go have some sex, man.
Yeah.
Dolphins.
Give me some dolphin puss.
Very weird. A kinky
So
dolphin.
to answer your question, you see this, right?
Yes.
To answer your question, the reason I got into hypnosis was simply because I suffer from depression.
Wow.
Like most people in the world, you know, a lot of people deal with depression, and depression's a real thing. I don't necessarily like to use the term mental illness or
Right.
mental health. I don't necessarily like that term too much, but I was going through a really, really, really bad time in my life, and hypnosis is literally what brought me out of it. And so, as a magician, as an entertainer in general, I'm researching about hypnosis, and there was a comedy hypnotist that popped up on a video, and I started watching everything he did. And I watched this other corporate hypnotist. I watched videos of everything they did, and I researched and read and whatever. And next thing you know, I'm hypnotizing people. And as a comedian and a magician, I'm like, dude, I could put all this shit together and turn it into something,
Right.
you know? And I love my motorcycles. I mean, this is everyday attire for me.
Right.
Right.
I'm like, there's no bikers out there doing this kind of shit.
Right.
They're not going to see me coming because I don't look like a hypnotist. I don't look like a comedian.
Right.
Damn
You're
sure
one of
don't look
them.
like
Yeah.
I don't look like a magician. So when I'm doing all the magic and then the comedy and then I hypnotizing people making their dicks fall off and all that kind of stuff, that's the coolest thing ever.
That's the fear, though, isn't it? I mean, that everybody's. Well, you're gonna make me cluck like a duck, and or whatever.
Right? Yeah, they do that all the time, and they ask me, "You gonna make me cluck like a chicken?" I'm like, no promises. I don't know.
Right. Right.
So
wherever the mood takes us, yeah.
I'll give you an example, man, of how much fun this is.
When you're doing it, are people eager to come up on stage, or you got to kind of, entice people to come up? Do they want to be part of the show? They want to get hypnotized?
So I think you told me when you and I spoke on the phone that you practice hypnosis
35 years ago, I was an X-rated magician hypnotist.
Nice. Well, I don't necessarily X-rated. I mean, I do bend that line a little bit, and sometimes I kind of cross it, but I don't do. My technique is a little different than most hypnotists. A lot of hypnotists will, being on stage and there's, 200 people out there and they say, okay, if you want to be hypnotized, come up here on the stage. I don't do that. To me, this is just my personal opinion. To me, that's a little boring because they only have a select few of people on stage, like 10 or 20 people, and they try to bore them or lull them, if you will, into hypnosis. And it takes a minute to get those select few. And then there's, okay, you go sit down, you go sit down, you go sit down, you go sit down. I don't like all that bullshit. I don't like sitting them down, but sometimes you have to. It's just common. They snap out of hypnosis or whatever. My technique is I hypnotize the entire fucking audience.
Right.
Everybody.
I've seen one guy do that one.
Everybody in the audience. And then I'll walk out and pick and choose
the
subjects.
That's exactly what he did.
That I like, that what they're doing,
Yeah.
For me, it makes it a better show because if you get everybody involved, you build that rapport with your crowd. Excuse me. And then you go out and pick and choose certain subjects in an entire audience. It makes for a much better show, and you can get them deeper when you get them up on stage. That's just my
Right.
technique.
What I'm
Right.
thinking, if they see it, it's advertised as a hypnosis show, they're probably okay with it anyway. They figure, there's
Well,
half a chance that I might get involved here, and no matter
Yeah.
Well,
what.
you should know this. If promotion of a hypnotist show is key. Okay, you got to promote it. You got to let people know that this is a hypnotist show, a hypnosis program. Because if you don't, when they find out, everybody freaks out. Oh my God,
Yeah.
hypnotizing! I don't want to be hypnotized. Then they'll get up and
Right.
fucking leave. Okay,
Yeah. It has a
but
certain audience.
if they know that there's a chance of them getting hypnotized, or they're going to see someone get hypnotized, they've pretty much hypnotized themselves before they walk in the door.
Right. I
Kind of,
know.
yeah.
And it makes
Sure.
my job a whole lot easier.
There's a mental preparation that
Yeah.
takes place. Sure.
Yeah.
There absolutely is.
Yeah. So I experienced that one time where because I've been to a hypnotist maybe 3 or 4 times, and I was at an NA convention, and they had a hypnotist that did exactly what you're talking about. He hypnotized the whole crowd, and he said like if you're not, you don't have to, participate, obviously, if you're not trying to go into the hypnosis, but so he, the whole crowd, and then he went around and selected people that probably seemed more under at that point or whatever, because that's the more workable subject.
Well, in the hypnosis world, you know, there's 2.14% of the population that we call somnambulistic. And the definition of somnambulism is sleepwalkers. People that sleepwalk. A lot of people experience that, throughout their lives. But as a stage performer, the somnambulistic people is who we're looking for to
Sure.
get up on stage. And those people go under hypnosis very quickly. And I mean,
Mhm.
like seconds, 2-3 seconds, they're out. Other people, it may take, 5-10 minutes to get them to a certain
Level, yeah.
susceptibility, to go into the hypnosis trance. Now, if let's say, for example, I've got 10 people up on stage, and only 3 of them are very well deep into hypnosis with somnambulistic, and the other ones are almost there, but you can get them there through fractionation. If you do that enough, you can get other people to get into that somnambulistic state. But in the meantime, they're still hypnotized enough to where you keep them up on stage. They're still doing part
Right.
of their suggestion, or they're falling
Mhm.
over, and all that kind of stuff. But it's the other 3 that are deep, 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 deep that you can make do all kinds of weird phenomena.
Right.
Audience is focusing on them. They
Yep.
don't give a shit about the rest of the people. They're
Yep.
focusing on them. But I keep them up on stage as long as they're under a certain state of hypnosis. I keep them up there because it just makes the show look a whole lot better, and images everything.
Sure.
And he knows, as a hypnotist, you're still a performer.
Right.
You have to put on a show, and as an entertainer, image is everything.
Absolutely.
And then hopefully you don't suck when you're up on stage. You may
Right.
look good, but if you suck, you're going to look good doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I operate. That's how my brain works.
Now, how much magic? I always like to, and maybe you'll disagree with this, but I always like to explain hypnosis to people. Like, hypnosis is just simply a magic trick without the props. It basically, that's the way I explain it to them, to make them feel comfortable with it. Like, you don't have to wear. Magic. A magician is not going to really saw you in half. Hypnosis is like that. It's not.
I did that to my ex-wife, man. I was one show only, though.
But how much magic do you incorporate in the show? And is it
I
small
incorporate a
magic
little
like
bit
you just did, or illusion?
No, okay, that's a great question. I do incorporate magic on stage. Matter of fact, I'm working on a new bit now. I'm fixing to go on a cruise at the end of the month. We're performing on this
Nice.
cruise ship. If it's okay, I'd like to talk to you guys about this cruise. If it's okay,
Absolutely. I'm just
give
looking at your
people a little
tour dates
information.
now, and we could talk about all of them. But the cruises
So,
definitely.
yeah, we got a gig in Newport Richey, Florida this weekend, and we're coming back here to Panama City Beach for Thunder Beach. We got one show there, and then we're leaving, go back to Tampa to get on the cruise. But anyhow, I do some magic on stage, stage magic. but I do a lot of close-up magic. For example, let's see if you can see this. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
See if I can. See if we can just get rid of it. But the
Very
cool thing
cool.
is, I'm
Very
going to
cool.
smoke that one. So I do a lot of close-up magic. Depending on the venue, like if it's a theater, I'll be outside having a cigarette, having a drink, and doing magic to everybody outside. If it's a bar, I'm walking around the table doing close-up magic. And the reason I do that is it builds up an excitement.
Right.
If you do as a close-up magician, you better be fucking good, because if you're not, they're going to pick you apart.
Right.
That's just human nature, man. They do that. Even if you're
Yeah,
good, oh, I know how you did that. Oh, I
yeah.
saw this or I saw
Well,
that. I'm like, I don't give a
and
fuck if you're
especially
scared or not.
if you're doing shows
Kids.
for bikers, man, they're the time the window you get with bikers is usually, in my experience, much smaller to impress them. Like you better impress them quick.
Well, that's
You do.
interesting. Do you get a big biker audience, or do bikers?
Well, I do a lot of bike shows. I mean, I do travel the circuit with all the bike rallies. Sturgis is obviously, we were there this year. We did 10
Hell
shows
yeah.
up at the
Where do
Iron
you
Horse
perform in
Saloon.
Sturgis?
Iron Horse.
Okay.
We're at the Iron Horse, and then there's a little small place outside of Sturgis called the Spur Creek Saloon. Very quaint, little hole in the wall. Beautiful ride to get there. Cool. It's a
Well, that's what
working
matters
ranch.
during Sturgis anyway.
Yeah, man. It's a working ranch. They got buffalo and bighorn cows and horses and all kinds of weird shit out there. It's a big wedding venue.
Right.
Very
But I
cool.
don't just do biker shows. We do comedy clubs and theaters and
Cool.
Right. I
the
just want to
biker
mention to
thing.
people, October 28th and November 4th, the High Seas Rally Cruise. Now, is that sold out, or can they still buy tickets for that? Because it's pretty soon, right?
So I'm so glad you mentioned that. There are a few cabins still available. Yes, we're only a couple of weeks out. But let me explain something about the High Seas Rally Cruise, man. I was on this boat in 2019, and it is by far one of the most coolest gigs I've ever done. The most incredible people I've ever been around in my life. The human beings on that boat were so much fun. This year is going to be out of control. Uh, they brought me back, and then we got Lita Ford, we got Thorogood playing for us in
Wow.
Key West. The band The Outlaws. I don't know if you guys remember The Outlaws. I love The Outlaws. One of my
Yeah.
favorite
Wow.
Southern
Henry
rock
Paul.
bands ever. Yeah, man, Henry, and he also was in Black Hawk, the country band. Anyway, there's a lot of great performers. We're giving away motorcycles, giving away $250,000 in cash. As a matter of fact, one of the bikes that was a custom build was built by a guy
Does
named
dog poop in the
Xavier.
house? Huh?
The dog poop in
You
the
gotta
house.
mute.
I
You
smell
gotta
poop.
mute yourself. Yeah, I mute him.
Hey, never. Boy, hey, baby, I'm telling a story about the cruise, and the guy asked if the dog pooped in the house.
Oh, he must have smelled it. Willie,
That was funny, dude.
I don't know. I don't think his earphones went out. His headphones
Yeah,
went
he's
out.
over beating his head like
Yeah.
this. The cruise, man, this year it's just going to be insane. Xavier Muriel was the drummer for Bug Cherry, and he's one of my blood brothers.
Wow.
And he built this motorcycle to give away on the cruise. And if anyone books their cabin now, they're automatically registered to win that motorcycle. Paul Yaffe built a bike that they're raffling off for the dialysis fund, which is what this cruise is about, is helping these people with the dialysis. I think there's 10 families that the cruise literally pays for their family, the machine, the doctors, the nurses, everything for this whole 7 days to let them come out and enjoy a vacation themselves. Because, being on dialysis, you can't really hardly go anywhere. But we bring on families on this cruise. And the motorcycle that Paul Yaffe built, they're giving that away. $20 raffle ticket, and all the money goes to the dialysis fund.
Very cool stuff. Well,
Yeah, this cruise is by far, if anybody's ever been on a cruise, this one will spoil you rotten. It is absolutely insanely fun, and just, dude,
Do you
Yes.
know? Does it make any stops? I mean, or is it just a cruise on the water? I mean,
No. We're leaving out of Tampa on the 28th of November. It's Halloween week. Halloween's my favorite time of year. So we're leaving out of Tampa and we're going straight to Key West, and we're doing a Key West takeover. We're taking over the city. And
Wow.
then Thoroughgood is playing just for us on Key West that night. Then we're getting back on the ship and we're going to Cozumel and Costa Maya. And then we're coming back to Tampa, 7 days
Wow.
in the Caribbean. It's just going to
Excellent
be
stuff.
a blast,
I'm
man.
jealous, man. I love Key West, first of all.
Yeah.
And I love the Keys. Isla Morada is my favorite key, but
If
Key
anybody
West.
wants to get on this cruise, if anybody, you don't necessarily have to be a biker, but it is a motorcycle rally on a cruise ship. And in my experience, 99% of the motorcycle community, the biker community, are some of the most incredible people I've ever been around.
Wow.
And it's just like that on this boat. And if anybody would like to go, it's simple, highseasrally.com. Then go to the website. All I ask is if you do decide to come and you're watching this podcast, mention Gary Michaels promo code. If you call them, just mention my name. All you got to do is say Gary Michaels told me to call. They'll know what to do. But if you do it online, promo code Gary Michaels, man. I
Very
appreciate that.
cool.
It
We hope
by
people.
far one of the best cruises, best gigs. I can't wait for it.
And if anybody in our listening audience or viewing audience does, please document it. Send us some photos. Send us short video clips of your time on the cruise, and we'll play them here. And
Hell yeah, man.
it's just going to be something you do every year, right? So you're going to do it next year too.
They've been doing this for 23 years. Yes, we're rolling next year. I can't really give you information about next year
Right, of
yet
course,
because
of course.
we haven't made the
No,
announcements. But next year, I'm really looking forward to next year too.
very cool. And I just want
Hopefully they'll have me. I'm pretty sure they'll have me back. I'm hoping they will. I mean,
course.
it's not my
Yeah.
first rodeo.
Yeah. Rock band stuff and country rock. Are you a guitar player or just
No,
sing?
I'm saying I have dabbled in guitar a little bit. I don't ever play it in public because it's horrible. But I've been singing with the same pickers, the ones that are still alive, 30 years. I got a
Wow.
lot of great friends in the industry, both rock and country. Ted Nugent's one of my best friends. I was his narrator for him on the Spirit of the Wild TV show, which is on the Pursuit Network. Runs 8 times a week. Great show. Number one, Spirit of the Wild. I was Ted's narrator for 2 seasons. That was funny. Ted called me up on a Good Friday, and he says, "Gary, I need a narrator for my show, Spirit of the Wild. Are you interested?" And I'm driving. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know, Ted. I'll check my schedule, see what it is." All the while, I'm trying to keep the truck on the road, like because I was honored that he asked me.
Wow.
Daryl Worley, country singer, Aaron Tippin, country singer, Tracy Lawrence. Johnny Van Zant from Leonard Skinner. All these guys are friends of mine. Some of the guys in Foghat, the Outlaws. I know Henry and Randy, the bass player. I don't know them well. We've spoken on several occasions, but we're going to get to know them very well on the cruise this year.
Very
Uh,
cool, man. But
but I owned
the
a
question
nightclub.
is where you get time to sing with the band between doing all your own gigs and being on, because your calendar is full as anybody's I've ever seen.
Mm.
Where you get time to actually go sing with a band and do like, because the voiceover work you do,
Well, the voiceover work you can do pretty much anywhere.
Right.
You plug into the computer, you get you a good microphone, get the right settings. You do that anywhere. My band, I sang with my band once this year in Kentucky. But just about everywhere we go, even here on the beach or in Arkansas or wherever it is we find music. I mean, I gravitate towards really good talent. And we talk to them for a minute or two, and then I'll get up and sing a few songs with that particular band. So that sort of fills in that void. I don't get to sing with my band like I used to.
Right.
Used to, it was 3 nights a week. I owned a nightclub in Lexington for a few years, and the only reason Brad, my guitar player, my lead singer, the only reason we bought the club in the first place is so we always had a place to play.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can relate. I can definitely relate to that. I had that idea more than a dozen times in my life. Yeah, I should just buy a bar. There's a song out now called "Maybe I Should Buy a Bar." I should.
Mm,
uh,
no, I tell people I suggest they go a different direction because it's a lot of headache. But there was four of us, so I didn't have to do a whole lot of the work,
right.
and all I cared about was being on stage. And what was cool is, when we owned the bar, the Cadillac Ranch, that was the name of it. It held 800 people. It was a big box, man. But I was on the radio doing my radio show in Lexington, 20 years, number one in the city, singing in the band 3 nights a week when people were lined up outside to get in, and owning a bar, doing the magic, doing the comedy. I did all that every day, every week, you know, and it led to this. That was, to me, looking back on it, hindsight, is I was preparing myself with all the shit that I was doing to get to this point.
Right. No, I
So,
totally relate to that. People, everything you do in life is a learning experience that is preparing you for the next place you are. And people used to say, like, to me about all this, because there was a time I was an executive for a media company, and I had to explain to people that being a magician, being a musician, being a hypnotist, all that stuff that I did was kind of preparation for that role as an executive in
you know,
helping.
we don't think about that when we're younger, but as I get older, hell, I had the conversation last night with my daughter and my son-in-law. Uh, I tell them, you got to work hard. It may look glamorous. It's fun. Sure. You make people laugh. You do magic and hypnotize people and sing and all this kind of cool shit. But for me now, I'm waiting for that one big break, or that one big sponsor, that one big believer that's going to push us to the next level. Not because I'm egotistical and I want to be famous, which I do. I'm not going to lie. I'm doing whatever it takes to be known all over the world. Okay. But why am I doing it so hard now? Is because when I'm gone, I wanted to have made enough money or done something big enough that my family's taken care of when I'm not here anymore. I
Legacy.
didn't used to
It's
think
about legacy, right?
true. I didn't used to think like that, man. But as I, as I said, as I get older, that's my focus. I want to make sure my grandkids are taken care of, my daughter. If I go before April does, that she doesn't have to worry about anything. Uh, the legacy, yeah, that's a
Right.
great way.
Yeah.
Never really
That's
thought about it that way, but that makes absolute sense. But yes, I want that legacy to go on. Now, do I want to be famous as Elvis? Doesn't everybody? I just want to leave a little mark. That
yeah.
being said, we are in direct communication now, or I'm in direct communication now with one of the producers of America's Got Talent. So I feel like we're about this close to getting there. Uh, and if anybody's listening, they can reach out to America's Got Talent and say, "Hey, you need to get Gary Michaels on the show."
Yeah.
That couldn't hurt.
I've been in a Twitter battle with Tape Face, who was from America's Got Talent type of thing, and I was thinking about this the other day. The people, they have had some great singers on there, but the people they are most attracted to or get on that show have got something just totally,
Weird,
bizarre
weird,
about them. Yeah.
bizarre, weird.
Yeah.
Hello, they don't get much weirder than me, dude.
Biker hypnotist. Um, what came first, the hypnosis or the magic for you?
Magic. I was probably 8 years old when I learned my first magic, or saw my first magic trick and learned it immediately. And then it was later in life that the hypnosis came in. Speaking of
Hello.
which, yeah,
Hi. Welcome back. You- we got to
that's
get
my
in and
daughter.
sign a release for being on the program this morning. No, I'm kidding.
She's all right. I ain't worried about that
Well,
crazy bitch either.
I don't want to keep you much longer, but I am curious about this as a magician and close-up guy. Who my hands are so messed up right now that it's really difficult for me. But I had to put in so much time developing all those, the kind of stuff you were just doing with the cigarette through the hand type of thing. How much do you still have to put in all that work to continually keep up with it, or is
Every
it just like second nature now?
Every single day, man. I'm constantly practicing, constantly working. I may not be, I'd like to be at some point in my life the best entertainer in the world. I would. That's a little bit arrogant and egotistical. And there may be people that can outperform me, but they'll never outwork.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Right.
I am constantly working, whether it be on magic tricks, whether it be learning more about hypnosis and how to be better hypnotist, whether it be writing, writing a song, writing a commercial, writing a promo, producing the videos. I mean, constantly doing something.
Right. Are you the
So,
CEO of Gary Michaels?
no, April is.
Okay. The reason I ask, because I've been working on my own stuff for forever, and just being for the last 15 years, I decided I was getting out of managing the entertainment business I'm in and being like a sideman. But now, with all these comedians that I'm trying to help further their careers, I'm considering getting into producing, and I'm working with a couple of comedy clubs. We're on Gov's Comedy Clubs Network now. I'm working with Six and Stones out here, and I'm looking to produce shows. And just like, I would love to have you up here sometime if we could work that out. I contact
Dude,
my
I'm
wife.
absolutely game. You just let me know. I'm very easy to work with. I do have a certain limit that I have to charge.
Right,
I have to, especially with everything that's going on crazy in this world right now. We got I've always said that this country was founded by geniuses. I mean, our founding fathers were genius, but this country right now is run by a bunch of fucking idiots. So, and I'm a little bit scared about that. But everything's going up. Obviously, I've got to charge a little bit more. But I will absolutely work with anyone if it makes sense for both of us. I'll work with you. My writer's very small, and all I care about I don't care about. I've never been a big fan of the terms. He's a feature act. He's a opening act, or
right,
he's the
right,
headliner. I don't give a damn about all that crazy stuff. I just want to get up and do my show, and hopefully give the audience a couple of minutes of nothing but laughter and amazement, and make them forget
right.
about what's going on in this crazy ass world right now, man. That's all I want. I just want to perform. I love being on stage. That's my happy place.
Very cool. I agree. And you know what? I've said this a lot of times, and people think it's like a morbid thing. I want to die on stage because that is my happy place. If I could choose a place to die, and we had somebody locally who did that. He had a heart attack on stage while playing a concert recently. And they're like, "You sure that's the way you want to go?" I was like, "Yeah, well, he was enjoying himself right up to the end. I mean,
I would much rather go on stage and get hit by a truck on my motorcycle. I'm just telling you.
and
And
if we're talking about legacy, your family will be well taken care of if you die on stage. I promise you that."
I know, right? I know. And to go back to what you were saying, yes, I'm doing I'm doing all the booking. I'm doing all the bird dogging, trying to track gigs down and all this kind of stuff. But man, I would love more than anything to more than anything to have someone manage me, tell me what to do. Gary, you got a gig here. I need you to be here at this time. Yes, sir. I'm there. Dude, I would love that. I would
Right.
love some representation. That would be awesome.
I hear you. Well, we want to wrap this up by telling people go to GaryMichaels.net, find out where you'll be, and the cruise is again once again it's
The cruise is this
October
month.
28th to November 4th. High Seas Rally Cruise. There are still some cabins available. You can get in on that now. It sounds like the party to end 2023 on a great
Dude,
party.
let me tell you, I mentioned earlier that Halloween was my favorite time of year. I used to throw a Halloween party at my house back in Kentucky, and the last party that I had 600 people in my backyard, with the band and all the props. And the newspaper came out, the TV stations came out, the radio stations came out. I mean, the driveway was just insane. That was the talk of the town with all the body parts and blood and shit everywhere. So Halloween is my favorite time of year. I get to do a show in front of 2,000 people on this cruise on Halloween night when everyone is dressed up. Can you imagine what I'm going to make people do while they're in costume under hypnosis? Dude, it's going to be, for lack of a better word, insane.
Will there be video cameras there taping this stuff?
Oh fuck yeah! I'm a dude. I'm filming everything.
All right, cool.
And that's one thing that I would suggest to all hypnotists in particular: film everything. Only because you go back and watch it, you can learn from it, but it also saves your ass when you get some of the woke people and I've had woke people call the clubs the next day threatening, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck off, man. I ain't got time for your ass. I film everything. And I tell everybody, you don't have to come on stage if you don't want to.
Right.
So if you're on stage, it's all on you.
Right. Well, that's exactly why I got out of it, because of a situation you're describing, and I'll tell people about that at another time. But yeah, that whole
people are driving me crazy, man. Pretty soon they're going to cancel shampoo for fear they're going to piss off the bald people. Yeah. I mean, come on.
That's a great way to end it. Thank you for being here, Gary. We wish you great success. Do come back sometime, even if it's next year when you're promoting this cruise again.
You stay in touch. You stay in touch, brother. You can call me, email me, text me anytime you want. Thank you for having me on your program, and love to do it again.
My pleasure. And if we can, we're going to get you up here in New York somehow, some way in the very near future. So thanks.
Look forward to it, brother. Look forward to it.
Have a great day, and I'm sure you're going to have a great cruise. So bye for now.
Rock on. Thank you.
Oop. What was that? All right. Bye for now. Gary Michaels, the link is in the description to the website. Wow, so much stuff going on there. But yeah, wish him good luck on that America's Got Talent stuff. He is kind of tailor-made for that kind of program. I mean, that's something that they would definitely be attracted to. Anyway, I'm going to play a quick piece here, music video, and then I will be back to wrap things up. Maybe we'll get in touch with Willie and see if we can get him back on. If not, that's cool too. He had some problems with the audio thing. Where's church on Sunday, folks? I'm sorry. We are losing control of the program here pretty quickly. I don't know what happened to it. Did we eliminate that from the playing queue? I wanted to play church on Sunday just because it reminds me. Oh, here. These are, we talk about bikers. The place we used to play at and the Nautical Mile. Lots of different biker clubs came out, and this is called Church on Sunday. Raise Hell with a bunch of, you'll notice the different colors in the video.
introduction, guitar pick, I like southern deep fried chicken, and my grandma's done the kitchen. Pray for forgiveness, I sure love a good bar fight. I go to church on Sunday, raise hell on Saturday night. I go to church on Sunday, raise hell on Saturday night. Raise hell. Raise hell. Raise hell. On Saturday night. Raise hell. Raise hell. Raise hell. On Saturday night.
Raise hell. Now, welcome back, Willie. Are you muted? That's your brand muted, Willie. You're muted.
Dude.
Oh, no, you're
Every
not.
time. Every
was-
time fucking muted.
That was
Yeah.
a really cool segment. Gary Michaels is somebody to watch, man. I wish I could get on that cruise. But
Yeah, no, I'm sorry I had to drop out. No, that guy was awesome. He was
Yeah.
really really great.
weird thing about that video, that woman I was talking about who shoved her tongue down my throat and I could feel her beard, she was right in at the end of it. It kind of brought me back. I almost
Did you say goodbye to Gubs? I said something. I hopped on YouTube and said something on YouTube. But I
there
don't
you
know.
go. I got it. No, I'm gonna say goodbye to Cubs right